World. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon into champions. Digimon into ultimate. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon.
Oh yeah, baby. They're back. On November 23rd of this year, our childhood was brought back to life with the release of the latest Digimon installation, Digimon Adventures Tri. It's been over 14 years since we've seen the original kids of the Digimon series, and now they're all grown up. Wait a minute. The hell is this? What's with their eyes? Why are the colors so dull and washed out? Yes, unfortunately, worry started to occur with the first poster release of the new Digimon Adventures Tri series. I was one of them. Now, yes, I get that compared to when we first saw Tai and the others in the first series, they are older, and by anime logic, that means that their eyes are going to get smaller. But holy crap, guys, what the hell is this? Shortly after this poster was released, someone actually took the characters and reproportioned their eyes to resemble more of the old art style which they were drawn in and their older selves, and it looks a lot better. I will say though that watching the characters in motion in the series, their eyes don't appear as small as when they were first pictured in the promotional poster, and the colors also aren't as dull and are a little bit more brighter and vivid. Now of course while watching the first episode, it took some getting used to hearing all of the kids speak in Japanese and reading subtitles for a Digimon series. When we were kids, it was all in English, so that wasn't necessary. Out of curiosity, I did some digging for all of the voice actors that voiced the Digidestin and the Digimon in Digimon Adventures Tri. Now, obviously, the humans are going to be different. The kids are a lot older, and sometimes certain voice actors can't do an older voice if they have a small voice. So it was obvious that none of those characters were going to be the same. But the Digimon, however, they're all voiced by their original cast. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking Agumon, Gabumon, Biyomon, Patamon, Palmon, Gomamon, Gatomon, and Tentamon. All of them. They're all voiced by their original cast members. Now, I didn't watch the show in Japanese as a kid, obviously, but that has to be the coolest thing ever for people who watched this series as a kid back in 1999 to hear those voices be the same. Now, of course, voices do change in 14 years, so they might be a little different, but even just having the same cast members be those characters again must be nostalgia like we can't even fathom. Bet you $10 we won't be that lucky if this thing gets English dubbed, because we suck at getting people to continue for sequels of even simple movies. Yeah. So the first episode starts with cuts in the scene of who appear to be the second generation Digidestin, and what looks like them being killed off? Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on over there, but my theory is that the second generation Digidestin went into the Digi world to try to stop the new bad guy, Alphamon, and were defeated. An interesting concept that crossed my mind, and I'm sure they did this on purpose, was seeing all those people in the opening scene with electronic devices. See, when the original Digimon Adventure series first aired in 1999, the digital world was a concept and mystery to us as a generation. See, computers look like this, and if you had one, you were one lucky kid. Even back then, phones, musical devices, and laptops weren't an everyday thing like today. So seeing how they'll integrate the digital world kind of merging with our world today will be a very interesting concept to see develop and grow. Okay, why are they covering these pictures? Like we don't know who or what the pictures are of? Oh my god, TK is a hipster. This is your doing, Matt. This is all on you. He also keeps changing his hat, like he doesn't know what to wear now that his green giant gem hat is out of style. Now I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it was kind of funny to see Kawagamon be the first Digimon they come into contact with in the real world for Digimon Adventures Tri, because Kawagamon, for those who don't remember, was also the first Digimon they came into contact when they entered the digital world. I'll also say that it was clever of whoever thought of this, but when Digimon was brought over to America, they decided to base their names off of their Japanese names. Taichi is Tai, Yamato is Matt, Izumi is Izzy, Takeru TK, Hikari is Kari, and some just stayed the same with Mimi, Joe, and Sora. But it makes it a lot easier to remember which characters are which, especially us watching it in English first and now going over to the Japanese version, that it's easy to remember who's who because their names sound similar. Okay, episode 2. Agumon is the first to digivolve. The process is very similar to the original, but just barely. New Way seems kind of out of place. A lot of CGI, and what is with this egg theme they have going on? This New Way is also way longer than the original. Now that might just be because it's their first time doing it, so they're gonna draw it out in the full-time length and it'll get faster as they do it more, but for the most part right now, taking a long time. Now the action sequences are more action-y. Stuff actually happens. It's not just the kids shouting at their Digimon, saying their name over and over and over again, with the Digimon just constantly pushing back and forth and back and forth. Stuff actually happens. Now this could be because they're expecting an older generation to be watching it. Mainly my generation that watched it in the 90s and are watching it now. We're a bit older. We can take a little bit more fights going on. Or it could be because of budgeting, technology, and better artists. Either way, it's way better and way more awesome. And hey, Bergermon actually looks like she's made of fire a little bit more. Kind of hard to do in 90s cartoons. At first I got the feeling that this was gonna kind of turn into Digimon Data Squad, wherein Digimon are occurring in our real world, so a secret organization enrolls the help of the Digidestined to send these Digimon back into the digital world. But that has yet to be confirmed by plot, really, even by episode 3. In which episode 3 is mainly plot, but it mainly discusses how they're going to get the Digimon around now that they're in our world. Oh, they're Nintendogs. Oh, that's so cute. I'm really glad they came up with this concept of how to get the Digimon around instead of them constantly then needing to drag them around in cheesy and rather cliche costumes where they're in disguise and nobody seems to notice. Even for a kid's cartoon. Come on, guys, seriously? Nah, Agumon's wearing sunglasses to make up for Tai's lack of goggles. Continuing with the plot, it turns out the Kawagamon is what they are now calling a infected Digimon, which is very similar to the concept of the Black Ears in the original series. Honestly, I feel like there's a slight hole in the plot with this. Kawagamon isn't a nice Digimon to begin with. They mentioned that in the first episode of the original series.
His name is Kawagamon. He's an insectoid Digimon, vicious and ruthless.
So having him be the example of a Digimon gone wild wasn't exactly probably their best choice. Last episode, episode 4. This episode introduces Meikunmon and Meiko, the new Digidestined, and her partner. What? Oh my god, they didn't. I always hate it when writers do this. You have your chosen one or few or whatever, and then you just take another character and plunk them into the mix. It just seems so sloppy and forced and again, cliche. Even when they had the first original 7 Digidestined and then they took Kari, Tai's little sister, and plunked her into the mix, that didn't impress me as a kid even then. Season 2 also didn't get my attention when they had the new Digidestined. Now, with all of that said, I guess nowhere is it written in stone that there have to be certain circumstances to be a Digidestined, nor can there only be 7 or 8. I do recall, though, in one episode in the original series that they did say that the 7 and 8 that were chosen to be the Digidestined became the Digidestined because they were the first to witness Digimon in the real world. It was a fight between an Agumon and a different Digimon. I can't remember. It was like 14 years ago. So anyway, I guess if this Meiko chick saw that fight too when she was a kid, there's justice for her being a Digidestined. But for now, with the information we're being given, I still don't like it. I'm also putting money down that Meikunmon is the reason for these rifts occurring in the real world that are bringing the Digimon over. Let's call it a hunch. The episode ends with a fight with Alphamon, new evil, and Omegamon, Gabumon, and Agumon's merged form. A lot of mons in there. Oh, I just realized their names rhymed. Agumon, Gabumon. Huh. I I had another issue with this. Omegamon is their best Digimon. It's like putting all your cards on the table for the world to see. I mean, they didn't even have the other Digimon like Togemon and Kabuterimon digivolve into their forms past their champion level like Lilymon and Mega Kabuterimon. They still had other cards to play! Now there could have been 3 reasons for this. One is timing. This 4-part episode is actually released as one full-length movie in Japan. Now word is that the next movie or 4-part series won't be released until spring. So it could be that they wanted to end on a climax during the long wait period, and that's why they ended with Omegamon and went straight for the big guns. 2, they wanted to show the best Digimon for climax reasons at the end of the episode or end of the movie. Or 3, because Omegamon is their strongest card, they rather won't be able to use him later, or they will have to find something even stronger than Omegamon to defeat Alphamon. And lastly, a note on something I noticed with Ty's character and how he's already grown. What I mean is, during the fight in Digimon Adventures Tri, he becomes almost scared and worried about fighting. He says it himself, that he's scared he might hurt someone or do even worse. This is interesting because when Ty was a kid in the original series, he didn't exactly have this sense of consequences for his actions. Now, mind you, in the Digi world, they didn't exactly have people or things to worry about destroying, like buildings and humans, because it was all landscape, but it was still interesting to see him realize that there are consequences to his actions. People could get hurt if they fight willy-nilly. So it's interesting to see the character that in the original series was all about, yeah, let's go get the bad guy, yeah, let's go save the day, we can do it, to suddenly step back and almost hide within himself in fear of doing wrong while trying to do good. It's an interesting clash in thought and dilemma going on in his head. But then Matt comes along and says, hey, screw that man, bust up the buildings, whatever. That's how he talks. So, to review. Oh my god, Digimon Adventures Tri, oh my god! Ah, it's Agumon and Biyomon! Whee! Hipsters! Oh my god, they didn't! Fight, 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 da-da. So thank you guys so much for watching my rant review on Digimon Adventures Tri. Be sure to check in on Tuesdays when my brother Andrew uploads, and Fridays when I, Sarah, upload. Until then, geek on! Geeks, 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 geeks.